What's good, everybody? I'm Danny, and this is Danny D-Lo Bikertv. Welcome to another edition of a Biker's Review.
Danny D-Lo Bikertv.
What's good, everybody? I'm Danny. This is Danny D-Lo Bikertv, and this is another edition of a Biker's Review. Today, we're talking about Exotic Customs. You can check them out at exoticcustoms.com, and you can also order their Exotic Customs air ride kit off of the Tab Performance website as well. So it's kind of a two-for. They work together, which is really cool. So check them out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that share button, like button, comment, all that good stuff. Help my algorithm. Help me, y'all. Help me. You say you love me. I had a couple of drinks before I did this video, so I apologize. I don't even remember what we were talking about. Oh yeah, Exotic Customs. Check them out. Tell them Danny D-Lo sent you. Let's go ahead and give them unboxing, and then we'll do the review. First the install, then the review. Now this is going to look like a lot, but it really isn't that big of a deal. Okay, so here's your kit. First of all, you have your air compressor. You have your shocks. I took one of them out of the package so that you could kind of check it out. You have the bolts for your shocks. You have the valve, air valve. You have a black wire. You have these two bolts. You have some butt connectors that I absolutely refuse to use. Your airline, a couple of airline connectors. This is for your air compressor that is actually from Dirty Air. Here's your on-off switch. Your power wire with your fusible link in it. They also sent me, this is actually kind of a cool feature. This goes into one of the lines. You basically splice it in the line, and that's in case your air ride fails, your compressor fails or something like that, or even your tank fails. You can always put air in your shocks this way and it'll stay afloat so you can get home. And then here's their custom Exotic Customs tank. That is for your fast up. So considering where I want to mount my air compressor, they suggest to mount your air compressor underneath your side cover on the right side, but you have to cut a bunch of plastic out and stuff like that. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm very bougie. My motorcycle is a very nice motorcycle, and I'm not about to cut anything on my motorcycle if I absolutely don't have to. So we're gonna reroute the air compressor and put that on the side, which is what this is actually for, so that you can actually do the install the way I want to do it. And personally, and my personal opinion, is the proper way of doing it. So let me tear my bike all apart. Have to take the gas tank off, side covers off, both saddlebags off, get it on the jack. I'm not going to use the lift this time. I did use that for the muffler, if you guys didn't catch that, but I don't feel like using that today. I really don't. I'm kind of tired today, and I'm just trying to get this done before our podcast. So let me tear into the bike real quick, get all the stuff off, and then I can start at least mounting stuff and show you how to do that. So let's get into that install. So now that I have the bike jacked up, fully disassembled, it's time to start the install. So now that that's installed, you have everything in place. Everything's ready to go. Now it's time to start running some wires and tucking them away and doing things like that. And then figuring out where you want to put your dump valve at and your switch and your on-off switch and all this stuff. So we're going to continue on with this install, and wish me luck. So here's where I decided to put my dump valve, right here underneath the side cover on the right side. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to have these pointed this way or that way, but that's your in, this is your out, your blow up valve is on the other side. These are your airline diagram, your instructions for your airlines. This part is pretty simple. It's just like any other kit you would get. I'll show you real quick. That's how it would look. You got your up and down. Your up and down here. And then you have your on and off. Which kind of looks nice, looks more professional in my opinion. Now you all know me, I always say you gotta solder it, man. You can't be out here doing some half-ass work. So I always solder all of my stuff. It's just ingrained in me from doing sound systems, you know. Gotta make sure that everything is soldered and nice and pretty. It's just the way I am. So let me solder this up quick. It's about the best soldering job I can do right now because my soldering gun is actually broke. So there you have it. Now that's soldered up, so now all I have to do is tie these together and make a nice wire loom out of it. So let me go ahead and do that, and we'll begin the other process. Now that I have my gauge cluster back in and installed, my switches are in too. Here is my wiring loom that I made myself. Got it all taped up real nice, made my own loom. So what I want to do here is I want to run it right alongside of all the factory wiring. So you just open this box up. It's not that hard to do. And just tuck them in. You don't have to go too. Want to point out is when you do put it inside of here like this, you do want to keep a little extra wiring there so that when you're turning your bars, you don't have to worry about wires being pulled. So you want to pull that out just a little bit. So there we go. That should be all right. There we go. A little more, just for good added measure. And now we're good. We can pull the bars all the way to one side, all the way to the other, and we're not pulling no wires. Don't have to worry about that. So that's all nice and well hidden. As I just pointed out, here's where it'll come out at. So it comes out right with your factory wiring harness. So it'll be nice and hidden. You can tuck all your wires down in there and you can run them to where you want to go. Now obviously I didn't tape everything and wire loom everything because I want to leave some free so I can figure out which wire is going where and all that stuff. So let me get into this part of it and I'll get right back to you. What I've done here is I've ran the wires from the compressor right along with the clips that are on the Harleys for your brake lights. So it kind of works out perfect that you can run your wiring through there. And I'm also going to plumb my air hose through there as well. So it's nice and clean, it's out of your way, and it's all good. So I ran those wires, and plus I decided to put my on-off switch right here underneath my side cover, because for the simple fact, I've never ran into issues where I've had to use it. And to be honest with you, if I have to shut it off all the time, that tells me that there's another issue in the system. So I just put it right here for now because I refuse to drill holes in my motorcycle for no reason. And now I'm just running the wires and gonna start connecting them all. So give me 1 second to run these wires and then I'll show you how to connect it all. What I'm doing here is I ran the red wire off the compressor, which is your power wire. It runs along to the other side here to your pressure switch on your air tank. And this other wire is ran to your on-off switch. Now I'm just gonna use these little holes right here to go ahead and zip tie it up, get it out of the way, make it look a little nicer and cleaner. There we go. Also gonna put it right here on this side too. Now your wires are out of the way, nice and clean. Of course, always solder your connections. And always get yourself some wire loom tape. That way there you can just protect your wires a little more. So this part is complete. Now we're gonna move over to the valve setup. I decided to put my valve right here, my blowout valve, I just think it's a better location for it. It fits perfectly. And here's your lines in here, and then your blowout is back there. There is a blue wire and a yellow wire and also a brown wire. Now your blue and your brown are your up and down wires that go to your switch, or from your switch to this part here. The yellow wire is actually a ground wire, and that goes to your battery. So we have all that done up, just about buttoned up. I'm gonna zip tie some of this. I should have probably cut it and made it a little more snug, but I decided to leave it just in case for later. And we're just gonna tuck all that wiring up inside of here, and you won't even see that. So now it's time to take the original shocks off and put the air ride shocks on and start running the air lines. So give me a second, and again, we will get into that. Make sure that the jack is ready to roll, just so that you can take these shocks off so your tire doesn't just drop. So let's go ahead and take them off. So when installing these shocks, naturally you're probably going to want to put the exotic customs out so you kind of see it or whatever. But that's not the case. You're going to want to turn this around and have the valve sticking out towards that way. That way there, or not valve, but the airline connector. That way there you can run your lines all up and around and it doesn't hit your saddlebag. Make sure that you use the longer bolts that come with your shocks. So now that we have all the lines ran, hooked up, the whole system's all ready to go. All I have to do is hook up 2 of these ground wires, hook up my power wire, and turn the switch, and hopefully I hear some music to my ears, which will be the air compressor. So give me 1 second while I button all this crap up and make it look all pretty for you guys and get it all ready to go, and then hopefully I'll be showing you a up and down. See you in a minute. Now that I've buttoned everything up, I put the fuse in. That's one main thing I got to tell you guys. Make sure that you leave the fuse out until everything's all installed and hooked up. I still got to wire tie this up a little bit and hide it a little better, but everything here is buttoned up, everything's hooked up, and now you can see what it does. Always be sure when installing anything that you try to utilize as much as you can as far as doing a clean install. Tucking your wires, tucking your air hoses, stuff like that. A clean install always makes you feel better. Check it out, Holmes. I got a low rider. I'm cruising low and slow, eh? This switch is made for your air ride and your center stand, all in one kit. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to a Biker's Review. Again, I'm Danny, and this is Danny D-Lo Bikertv. So today, we installed a fast up air ride kit on my 2017 Road Glide Special behind me. Please excuse the messy garage. I've got a lot of parts, a lot of stuff going on. Been working on my bike, doing this, doing that review. So please excuse the messy garage behind me. I promise you, the next shoot will be a little cleaner. As for Exotic Customs Fast Up Air Ride Kit, I really like the ride of it. You really like float going down the road. And a lot of people don't understand why some of us run air ride. Now, me personally, I run air ride simply because of the ride and because I'm kind of a shorter guy, believe it or not. A lot of you guys got this misconception that I'm this huge dude. Yeah, I'm a big dude, but I'm big this way, not this way. I got the shit under the stick, what can I say? So anyway, I like to run it because it puts me a little lower to the ground, and I'm a lowrider dude. If you can't tell that by now, I don't know what to tell y'all, but I'm a lowrider guy. I like my bikes running kind of low. I like to just cruise slow and low and do my thing. So it really helps out for me and guys like me to be able to lower your bike whenever you want. Plus, let's be honest, it's pretty cool when you pull up to the set and you go, it's kind of fun, I'm not gonna lie to you. So that being said, I really enjoy this kit. I like it. So far it's working properly. It's working great. The installation video that they have on the website on exoticcustoms.com, you can go on that site, check out the video. They have an install video. It's a lot different from mine. Mine's a little simpler, but I wanted to put my components in other places, like my compressor on the side of the bike instead of underneath the cover. I don't want to cut stuff on my bike. I don't want to drill holes in my frame. It's just not something I want to do if I don't have to. So I like to keep my installs very clean, very neat. If I ever want to pull it out because I'm going to trade the bike in or something, I can. I don't have to worry about plugging holes, putting plastic back in, stuff like that. So it's just a preference of mine personally. But as far as the kit's concerned, it's an awesome kit. Everything works great. The Evil iron switch, it's a good switch. But remember, folks, you're gonna have to make your own wiring kit. So that's why my install video was a little different on this one, because I had to make my own wiring kit and loom and stuff like that. So it's time consuming. It can look like it's a bit much, but at the end of the day, it's very simple. All air ride systems are the same setup. It's very easy to install on your bike. They make a custom bike look nice. They make a bike look custom, kind of. When you hit the switch and it drops down to the floor, it looks kind of cool. Plus, you can raise it up when you're in the twisties, so that way there you can really lean on them corners and get some good turns in. So there's a lot of advantages to this. And one of the advantages I want to point out is this right here. You can have multiple heights by just hitting the switch and lowering it little by little till you feel comfortable, and that's where you want your air ride to be set at. And for your shorter guys that want to ride a bagger but feel like you're not comfortable because your feet ain't planted, look how quick it goes down to the ground. Now your feet are firmly planted, flat-footed, and you're comfortable. And then when you're taking off at the green light, you can lift the bike right back up with a flip of a switch, and you're going down the road nice and comfy. So with that all being said, at the end of the day, it's a great kit. I highly suggest it. Go check my boys out over at exoticcustoms.com, or you can also go on the Tab Performance website and you can order the kit through Tab Performance as well. They kind of work together. Again, I think that's pretty cool too, because I definitely like working with Tabs as well. So it's an all-in-all win-win for everybody. So until the next episode, you already know the drill. Keep it real and keep it 100. I'll at y'all. Peace.
Danny D'Lo, Biker TV.